This week's episode of Lakestone Love is about last week. I was thinking that it would probably make sense to share with you all how the Lakestone Love project falls into context with everything else that we're doing. I think it's easy to see these videos each week and think, oh wow, like she's building a cool house. The reality behind all of this is just one project, which happens to be a personal project, in our current workload, and we are working on a number of projects that are exactly similar to this. So like large-scale renovation or addition projects or new construction projects or just decorating projects, as well as we actually have a lot of commercial projects at the moment. And we also have a project in Charlotte, a big project in Denver. Okay, so master bedroom, let's go ahead and do two of these. But we do shades. We're balancing a lot right now, but I just thought it would make sense to put that into context because I wish I had the luxury of just like waking up and putting my heart and soul into this project and like coming up with all these great ideas. But I'm really kind of having to do that under the gun and in conjunction with the help of many team members, one of which, Liz, is doing all the video work and is basically like full-time working on Lakestone. So couldn't do any of it without the great team that we have here at work. And again, just kind of sharing that this is just one project of many that we're working on, but it is the one that we're able to really zoom in and show you the details of without invading anyone's privacy. Last week was a super busy week. I was invited to attend the Kips Bay Show House President's Dinner by my friends at Kravit. So I went with the Kravit family to the dinner in New York, and it was really a great time. If anyone's familiar with the Kips Bay Decorator Show House, this year is the 47th annual, and each year, really like the best interior designers in the country transform a home somewhere in Manhattan into an exhibition of really like the best fine furnishings, custom features, art, technology. But it's like the ultimate, most prestigious show house in the United States. And since I was going to this event, I decided to go ahead and head up on Saturday and take Lil and Fisher and my mom to New York with me. And this is Lil's third trip to New York. It's Fisher's first. So I was thrilled to see the city through his eyes for the first time, and just to see how my daughter clearly is like in love with New York as I am. So we had a wonderful time, and it was nice to kind of mix work with pleasure. So I flew back in on Tuesday, so woke up Wednesday and had one day here to work on basically like all projects, touch base with Margaret, touch base with Kelly, Liz, Meredith, Allie, like kind of work with everyone, and also kind of resettle family life and get the kids organized for the week because I was leaving the very next day for basically a week. Thursday morning, Margaret and Meredith and I got up nice and early and headed off to High Point, North Carolina for an antique and design show that we like to go to every year. And we started we're sourcing a lot of antiques and vintage items for clients, for projects that are coming up on presentation stage or in presentation stage and need an extra layer added. We have two big installs coming up, so we need a lot of accessories and things to flesh out those installs. We kind of went crazy and did a mad dash all day. Friday morning, the other girls from the team came up, so Kelly and Liz joined, and we spent the day at the International Home Furnishings Market. It's the largest furnishings industry trade show in the world, and it just happens to be in High Point, which is pretty close for us. I hate to take that for granted because it's right here, but you know, more than 75,000 people come to High Point every 6 months for this show. There's one in the spring and one in the fall. It's really a great place to see all the vendors and the companies that we work with regularly, as well as to source new products. So it's really important for us to attend. And we spent a good 2 full days working really hard, having appointments with a lot of our big furniture companies that we work with, and artists and lighting companies, and seeing what was new, talking about upcoming projects, making tons of lists for our projects that are entering into presentation phase and kind of preparing for that. So anyway, it was really good. We had a lot of success there and really happy to see a lot of great new product. There are also a lot of industry events at Market, and we were fortunate to be invited to a number of those. It's always nice to have FaceTime with friends and colleagues and people that we don't get to see that often, and so this is always a great opportunity for that. Saturday night, one of the most fun things of all is going to a dinner at Saigon, a Vietnamese restaurant in Greensboro, with the team from the New York Design Center. We had a really fun dinner with them. And I wanted to be home for my husband's birthday on Sunday, so I left that dinner and drove straight home. Kind of a whirlwind. So it was nice to have one day home Sunday to spend with the family. And Allie, my assistant, helped me to put together a beautiful tabletop on the completely unfinished porch at Lakestone, because I was just thinking of what I could do that would be just a nice gesture for Chester for his birthday. And I was thinking, well, as much as we love entertaining, and I think we just always are just thinking, oh gosh, one day this house is going to be done and we're going to have so many parties and it's going to be so fun. And it seems so far away. So it made it feel more real and tangible that even though it was on an unfinished concrete slab with studs and brick in progress, at least we would be having our first dinner party at Lakestone. And it was a success. He was so surprised. The kids loved it. And best of all is it really felt like home somehow without, with dust everywhere. And it really did feel like home. We're now even more excited. Coming back on Sunday was a great idea until Monday morning rolled around and Kelly and I had to be in the car leaving the driveway at 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m., Kelly and I took off back for High Point, and we got there literally right at 10 o'clock, and I was sitting on a panel that started right at 10 o'clock. Anyway, it worked out, but it was really nice. I was invited by Replacements Limited and Alden Park's showroom to sit on a panel with two other really talented designers, Libby Langdon from New York and Jean Liu from Dallas. And the panel was moderated by senior editor Krissa Rosbund from Traditional Home. We still had two showrooms we needed to see, and we needed to go source some antiques while we were there. So Kelly and I made the most of our time in High Point, our last day there, and then drove back to Raleigh. Started to have a firestorm with a project that's out of town on the way back. We just came straight back to the office and worked crazily on that. I think I'd had a Lakestone work period scheduled, but I had to forego that in order to get the train back on the tracks. That is really a good snapshot of a week in the life of probably any designer out there would tell you the same. It's definitely not this kind of glamorous job that you might envision. Thanks for your support, and thanks for watching Lakestone Love.